Welcome to How to Etsy. Let's name your shop.
How to Etsy, bloop, bloop, bloop.
So this video is going to be more like a PSA rather than a tutorial because honestly, I'm not the greatest at naming things and I don't want you to do what I have done, which is stretch out the naming process trying to come up with the absolute best, most perfect name in the world, and then you never open your shop. And you never make this tutorial video because you want it to be extra perfect because you're doing it for a tutorial. You're supposed to be a professional. It's really easy to get hung up on details like what you should name your shop. My pictures aren't good enough. My listing descriptions suck. But if you do that, you're never gonna open your shop. You just gotta accept that sometimes what you start out with isn't gonna be the best. I am a big believer in the mantra that done is better than perfect. I am making this video despite not having a whole lot of really good information for you, just to kind of tell you the process that I went through, the name I've finally chosen for my little fake tutorial shop I'm opening for the sake of the series, and to give you some hope if you too are struggling with naming your Etsy shop. So my first tip is to make sure that the name of your shop gives some indication of what people will expect to find in your shop. If you just heard the word Albertsons and you didn't know it was a grocery store, and maybe in your part of the world it's not a grocery store, I don't know. It could be a grocery store. It could be a hardware store. It could be a plumbing store. It's just a name. It doesn't really tell you much. It's an established name, so now we know it's a grocery store. But then you've got something like Toys R Us. What could they possibly sell? Could it be toys? Toys R Us is the kind of name we're going for when it comes to naming your Etsy shop because you are not an established brand yet. Maybe you will be someday. You kind of want to just put something in the name so that people hear it and they think, oh, I have a feeling I know what I would find here and I am interested in seeing more. Not a necessity, but a good idea. Second, you want to kind of think about what the name of your shop implies about your products. Toys R Us kind of implies, hey, this is a fun, cutesy shop. They got toys and they are for us. Sort of. That's not really what it means. Whereas a shop like Lush, the word lush makes you think like luxury. I'm going to adorn myself with lush stuff. You're expecting to maybe spend a little bit more money than if you went into a store called Soaps R Us. So you can think about stores that already exist, brick and mortar places like Toys R Us, Etsy shops that you admire, think about their name, think about how it makes you feel, how many words is it, how many syllables. So for my shop name, I wanted it to be clear that I was going to be selling knit goods, knit products. I wanted to leave it open in case I decided to expand beyond gloves, but I wanted to kind of give it a like hipstery feel, like if you're a cool kid, you might want to shop at my store. So the next thing I did was I went online and searched for word generators and business name generators, and my favorite tool that I came upon, a hipster business name generator. Perfect! The hipster business name generator, I will link it in the description in case I'm saying the name of it wrong, but it basically generates a noun and noun name, and it also creates a little logo. It's a very simple website, very minimalistic, which is very hipster, and it just generates words, spits them out at you. I got really hung up on the name Feast and Berry. It sounds expensive, but also like delicious. But when I ran it by people, I was like, what do you think of the name Feast and Berry? What do you think a shop called Feast and Berry would sell? They all said food. Obviously. Oh, that would be a great name for like a cake in a jar shop. If you open a cake in a jar shop and you call it Feast and Berry, let me know. I will shop at your store just because the name is great. So I gave up on Feast and Berry, but I kind of used the tool to just generate word ideas. And eventually I came up with Wonk and Wool or Wool and Wonk. But the Wonk aspect says, oh, you're gonna find unconventional things in this shop, where the Wool aspect says they're probably gonna be made out of wool or some sort of material indicating knit, crochet, sweatery, worm things, and it's got the lovely blah and blah rhythm that I wanted. So once you've brainstormed some ideas, just put it to Facebook, put it to people, have people say, I would shop at this store, I wouldn't shop at this store. When I was pretty sure I wanted it to be Wool and Wonk, I did what's called split testing, where I asked one group one thing, and I asked the second group another thing, and I compared their answers. Wonk and Wool won out because it sounds like rock and roll. Excellent. That's even cooler. Like, hey, we got like the rock and roll vibe. Yay! And I was feeling really good about my name, and I was gonna do it, make the decision, make this video, and then someone left this comment. Apparently, the word wonk is possibly a racial slur in Australia. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to give my shop a name that has a racial slur in the title. Then I was kind of like back to the drawing board, and I was going back through all the processes I just named, and I was trying to come up with something that I liked, that sounded the way I wanted to sound, that expressed the feeling I wanted it to feel, wanting it to work, and it wasn't gonna work. So then I was like, well, how bad is this potential racial slur anyway? I tried to Google whether or not it was real, it was actually a slur. I couldn't really find anything, and then I asked a friend of mine from Australia, hey, have you heard of this? Is it a racial slur? Would you feel less inclined to buy from a shop that was using it in their shop title? She said she had never heard of it, so I Googled and Googled. So then I kind of, tossed it up to whatever. I need to just pick a name, and I need to open my shop and continue these tutorials. So that is what I'm doing. I have decided on the name Wonk and Wool. It's got other problems, wonk is a confusing word. A lot of people on the Facebook post were like, what is wonk? What does this mean? And, whatever. I was gonna talk about branding also in this video, but I really just kind of wanted to share my story, my struggles, and my tips, and in the event that they might help you actually name your shop something good, or just give up and name your shop Mike's Socks, because that's what they are. They are socks made by Mike, and who cares? Just open your shop. Ultimate takeaway: if you're struggling with naming your shop, and you have a name that you're okay with, maybe it has some problems, maybe it doesn't fit everything you want out of a name, but it's good enough, just do it!
Just do it!
Just open that friggin' shop. Just do it.
Just do it!
Done is better than perfect. Something is better than nothing. Action is better than stillness. I'm making shit up now. Sometimes stillness is better than action. Not in this case. Etsy gives you a chance to rename it. You can always change your shop name. I hope this was helpful. I hope hearing about my pain has encouraged you to push through whatever block is keeping you from currently moving forward with your Etsy shop, or whatever project you're working on. If you're just watching this video and you're not actually opening a shop, it's little things that we get hung up on that keep us from moving forward, and you just gotta pick something and go.
Do it!
That's how you make progress. That's how we improve as human beings. My name is Jess. I make videos every week, or at least I try to. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about Etsy, I have a playlist of all my How to Etsy tutorials in the description. If you are struggling with naming your shop, feel free to leave a comment. I hope you are having a beautiful day. I will see you the next time I make a video. Goodbye.
Do